Hello everybody, this is Sergey Baklikov. I begin the new live stream today from the town of Kostroma, town number 5 out of 8 in my Golden Ring Full Tour. Now I'm located inside of Ipatievsky Monastery. This is a very significant, the most significant monastery and just a church complex in the town of Kostroma. And also this is the place which has a very special meaning in the history of Russia, because this is exactly where the dynasty, Romanovs dynasty, started in Russia in 1613. Exactly here, the noble people of Russia, they called Mikhail Fedorovich, the first Russian Tsar from the dynasty of Romanovs, to come for the authority. It happened here. So this is a Saint Trinity Cathedral. Ipatius the Wonder Worker Monastery. The thing is, back in 12th century, Tatar Murza was coming to Moscow for a baptism, to get baptized. But during the way, he got hurt. But that's where, exactly on this place where he stopped, 370 kilometers from Moscow, and he saw the Mother Mary came to him together with Ipatius, Saint Ipatius. And after this, he was healed. So that's how, after this, he decided to found the monastery here. After he got baptized, he got the Slavic name Zacharii, but his original name was Chet, Murza Chet. Everybody keep joining. This is the town of Kostroma, already the 5th town out of 8 that we are visiting in a frame of our full Golden Ring tour. This is Saint Trinity Ipatius, the Wonder Worker Cathedral on the territory of Ipatievsky Monastery. It's a pretty significant place because that is exactly where the dynasty of Romanovs as the Tsar's family started. In 1613, here the nobles of Russia asked Mikhail Fedorovich Romanov to came to the authority of the country. Kostroma. And this is more like a Kremlin now. But actually this is not what used to be Kostroma Kremlin. We actually came here in the very beginning because I've got a false information that everything is getting closed here at 6 p.m. Well, I came here like 5:20, and here already everything was closed. But, you know, the security guard was pretty nice and led to start here. Now we've got to the streets of Kostroma, next to Saint Ipatievsky Monastery.
Солнышко светит.
30th of July 2020. My name is Sergey Baklykov, together with my family, Albina and Victoria. We continue our road trip, the second stage of it, and this is a full Golden Ring tour. Today this is Kostroma. Kostroma. Well, another 70 kilometers from Yaroslavl, where we were yesterday. And this is a new city, Kostroma. Keep joining Kostroma. It's a pretty significant city. Pretty significant town in the history of Russia. Because look, it's not a joke that the dynasty of Romanovs, as the Tsar's family, was started exactly here. Yeah, I will tell more of history. I'm just waiting for more people to join. The museum preserve Kostromskaya Sloboda. Kostromskaya Sloboda, what means Kostroma settlement. I'm not sure if it's now opened or not, but let's check it out. Извините, вы не подскажете, Слобода уже закрыта?
Не до 5.
О, ясно. Ну ладно. Лишь до 5. Damn. Unfortunately, Kostromskaya Sloboda, Kostroma settlement is now closed, but it is a very great museum preserve, which is like the museum, open air museum, where you can find a lot of examples of an ancient Russian wooden architecture.
Только отойди от дороги. Мы сейчас куда?
Сейчас так вот обойдем. Here came the first super chats from you. Shannon Pickens, thank you. And Logibit, good afternoon and have a great tour. Thank you all. Now we are walking along an old walls of Ipatievsky, the wonder worker monastery. Well, technically it looks like it's a Kremlin, but actually it's not what used to be Kostroma Kremlin. Kostroma, the town of Kostroma, founded in 1152, same year as Pereslavl-Zalesskiy, where we also were like 2-3 days ago. And look, it is also founded with the Prince Yuri Dolgorukiy, Yuri Long-handed. This is the same guy who founded Moscow, and Pereslavl-Zalesskiy. Moscow was founded in 1147, and Pereslavl-Zalesskiy, together with Kostroma, was founded in 1152. So Yuri Dolgorukiy, Yuri Long-handed, really had the long hands. I mean, you see, he had a time to found everything. He founded significant Moscow, significant Pereslavl-Zalesskiy, and Kostroma. But definitely the most significant place here in Kostroma is this monastery, Holy Trinity, Saint Ipatievsky Monastery. This is a man monastery. And the most significant thing about it, that exactly here, a young 16 years old Mikhail Fedorovich Romanov was invited to be a head of Russia, of old Russia. And that's how the dynasty of Ruriks stopped and started the dynasty of Romanov. You know, Mikhail then had a son, Alexei, and Alexei had a son, Peter the Great, Peter the First. So actually, Mikhail Fedorovich Romanov was a grandfather of Peter the Great. And look, we are now in a very significant place. Again, Volga. And that's the place where it is connecting with a local river which is called Kostroma. So the name of this city is probably came after just the name of the river. This is one of the most efficient versions so far about the name of the city. It's supposed to be a Gidronim. Windshield microphone. Here is a lot of wind. Can you hear me? Dudes, let me know how can you hear me. I've got this microphone that have the protection from the wind. Okay. So almost 100 people already here, and this is the time when we can move forwards in a story about Kostroma. So let me tell you once again that Kostroma is one of the oldest Russian cities. It is founded in 1152 by the Prince Yuri Dolgorukiy, Yuri Long-handed, the same guy who founded 5 years before Kostroma, Moscow, and same year, 1152, with Kostroma, he founded Pereslavl-Zalesskiy and Kostroma. It is founded, as it usually happens, on the embankments of the river. In this case, on the embankments of Volga River, wide and beautiful Volga Mother, and a local river Kostroma. So that's why most probably the town named Kostroma. It's just a Gidronium. It's the most efficient version so far. There is no exact version why it is called so, but the historians thinking that most probably it's a Gidronium. Beautiful, beautiful, big time. It seems like Yuri Dolgorukiy, with all of these towns like Pereslavl-Zalesskiy, Kostroma, and so he was making something like a 4 posts to defend Suzdal. Back then Suzdal has a pretty huge meaning. I can't stop to be amazed with how beautiful all of these towns on Volga River. This is just unbelievable. In 1330, Tatar Murza was coming to Moscow to Ivan Kalita to get baptized to the Russian Orthodoxy. But he got a problem with the health. He got sick on his way to Moscow, and he stopped exactly here. Exactly on this place where is now this Holy Trinity Saint Ipatievsky Monastery. And he saw how Mother Mary came to him. Mother Mary together with the Saint Ipatios, the wonder worker. And he got healed. And then later he decided to organize this monastery here. It is after he already was baptized in Moscow, and he got a Christian name, Zachary. But his Tatar name was Chet. But then he got to be Zachary. And then the Godunov family got a control of this monastery. Godunov family pretended to be the relatives of Chet. And after all, here, the mother of Mikhail Fedorovich Romanov, she was hiding him here. And in 1613, in the time of troubles, so-called time of troubles in an old Russia, Mikhail Fedorovich Romanov was invited to be a head of Russia, to become a Russian Tsar, the first of the dynasty of Romanovs. And he actually was the grandfather of Peter I, Peter the Great, who founded St. Petersburg. Look, many seagulls here. Beautiful. The weather is beautiful today. Better than it was in yesterday in Yaroslavl. In Yaroslavl it was cloudy yesterday, but here in like 70 kilometers from Yaroslavl it's way better now. This is the automobile and pedestrian bridge over the Kostroma river. It leads to the historical city center there. $270,000 people now living in Kostroma, and this is 75th city out of 1,115 towns of Russia by population. 75th. So it's like the city from top 100 by population. From Moscow you can get here driving the interstate Moscow-Arkhangelsk, or you can come by train from Yaroslavsky railway station of Moscow. The trains comes to Kostroma from Moscow every day. It takes like 6 hours to get here. Look, this bridge is old and now finally requires the reconstruction. I think here is many kind of fish in this river. I'm responding the question you're asking. Here is a temporary place for the workers. Это, да, реновация. Renovation of the bridge. I'm sure that my parents used to see this bridge. I told you that if you're watching my channel for a long time, my parents in their youth used to work on a river cruise ship. And from Ufa, they were making the cruises to Moscow and Volgograd. And actually, they used to visit all of these cities on Volga River. And now this is unbelievably awesome for my parents to watch these videos, bring back memories. I hope we can walk through that bridge. We can walk through that pedestrian bridge, automobile and pedestrian bridge. Тут написано forbidden. It's probably opened another part. Наверное, с той стороны открыто. Now we can see some Soviet architecture, because this bridge is a Soviet bridge for sure. give likes. Let's give more activity to this video. Okay, dudes? Thank you. Okay, we just go from this side of the bridge. If it's pedestrian bridge, I want to go through this. It's interesting. I actually never walked through the bridges like this. Being on Volga, I mean. Kostroma. It's really windy here. And look, that guy in a coat. Well, here is an open space on the intersection of two rivers, Kostroma River and Volga River. So that's why it's pretty windy here. But it's warm. Anyway, it's warm. Holy Trinity, Saint Ipatievsky, the Wonder Worker Monastery. We are going to the historical city center of Kostroma. We have started from there, from the Holy Trinity, Saint Ipatievsky, the One Monastery, the lullaby of Romanovs dynasty. Exactly there, the first Russian Tsar from the dynasty of Romanovs, not Ruriks, but Romanovs, Mikhail Fedorovich. Exactly there, in 1613, he was invited to become the Tsar of Russia, Russian Tsar, and he became the first Tsar in the dynasty of Romanovs. He is actually the grandfather of Peter the Great. He had a son, Alexei Mikhailovich, and Alexei Mikhailovich gave birth to Peter the Great, Peter the First. The town of Kostroma, one of the oldest Russian towns, founded in 1152, on the intersection of the great Volga River and local Kostroma River. We are walking through the historical bridge, very old bridge, automobile and pedestrian bridge, which is actually connected that significant place, the most significant place of Kostroma, with the historical city center.
Вика,
You know, such monasteries, Orthodox Christian monasteries, on the embankments of the rivers always look so cool. This monastery was founded in 1330. Well, of course, it was developed for yet many years, maybe for 200 years. But the first developments there was in 1330. There is something like an old boat station. Another interesting thing about Ipatiev's name, look, the dynasty of Romanovs as a Tsar's family began in that Ipatievsky Monastery, but was finished in the Ipatiev's house in Yekaterinburg, when all the Romanovs family was murdered. The family of Nicholas II, and the house where they lived there was also named after Saint Ipatius the Wonder Worker. Those who are just joining, let me tell you that this is the continue of our Golden Ring tour, full Golden Ring tour. Now in a town number 5 out of officially 8 Golden Ring towns. And now this is Kostroma. We started 5 days ago in Sergiev Posad, then went to Pereslavl-Zalesskiy, then came to Rostov the Great. Yesterday we were in Yaroslavl, and now we came to Kostroma. Tomorrow we will go to Ivanovo. That's how we say Ivanovo. But I guess in English it sounds like Ivanovo. Ivanovo region. And then Suzdal. And finally Vladimir. That's how, after all, we will get back to Moscow. And that's why it is called Golden Ring. Ring because really if you look at the map you will see all the cities are creating like a circle around Moscow. And golden because it's like a golden years of an old Russia, ancient Russia. Paul Ashbolt, thanks for joining. Here we will find again a lot of historical buildings of different eras. It looks like some kind of manufacturer building of like 19th century. We are not that far from the historical city center. Unfortunately, the town of Kostroma, as an old Orthodox Russian town, was damaged big time in the Soviet days, because unfortunately the Soviet authorities, especially in 1930s, used to destroy a lot of churches and monasteries and cathedrals in Kostroma. So we've lost a lot of history with that. Looks like a typical merchant house of 19th century, maybe the beginning of 20th century. This is usually pretty good stone buildings, so that's why even now they are in a very good shape. I really like walking through such an old towns, and I don't care that I even love that in many of historical towns, small towns, you still can find the Soviet days asphalt and asphalt from the Soviet days. It's like some kind of untouched thing, you know, and it's pretty natural. For example, in Moscow now, like everything is in a tile, in a nice tile or a pavement. But here is like a real mix of the history, but at the same time of a real life. Так, давайте посмотрим, как пройти.
Куда?
Сейчас покажи мне карту.
А?
Покажи карту. Викочка, how are you today?
I'm good.
S. Koilikin, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Покажи мне. We now need to check the map if we go in a completely right way. Достань карту.
Какую карту?
Google достань мне. I will check it out. I need to see if we will go by the shortest way.
Дальше.
Так, это депутатская, да? Ну все, нам надо вот так. Just straight forward and forwards. Вон, привет от бабули. Слышишь, привет от бабули. Приветик, дорогая. Давай, бабуль, что-нибудь скажи. Victoria is not in the best mood today. This is Ostrovsky Street. You see, it's easier. As soon as you cross the bridge from the monastery, you just go straight forwards and you will get to the historical city center. You see, some of the history is waiting for its time to be renovated. Look at this building. But some are already got their hour. You see, here goes the renovation. I really love now the boom of renovations in Russia. This is a really boom of renovations. Well, you saw yourself that no matter where I'm coming, but always you can find the buildings which are getting renovated. Some are just waiting for their time, because look, it's all not easy and not cheap. The thing is, the government, the Russian government, they have a certain amount of money that they can give every year for the renovations of the historical heritage, and it takes time, so they can to renovate everything just in one or several years. It's gonna take many years. But the thing is, the work is going. Paul Ashbolt, here Vika. This might cheer you up. Посмотри. Пол Ashbolt отправил 10 баксов тебе и говорит, что надеюсь, у тебя настроение улучшится.
Thank you.
The thing is, there was the time, like, you know, New Russia, since the fall of USSR, is already 29 years old. And, whoa. Vika got scared big time. So yeah, 29 years of New Russia after the fall of USSR, and we can say that for the first 9 years nobody needs anything, because it was a time of trouble. It was a modern time of trouble. The time of when the authority were forming their power, you see. And then it has also taken another maybe like 10 years for the new authority to get a stability and finally start taking care about such a things like history, architecture. I think it's good. What the hell is that? Okay, that's how they open the gates there. What a noise it is. It's really noisy. Now we have a great chance just to walk through the historical streets of Kostroma, from Ipatievsky Monastery to the historical city center. А?
Ключ в номере оставила.
Прекрасно, я считаю.
Ну просто если бы я его с собой взяла, там выключился кондиционер. Мы бы пришли, было бы вообще.
Ага.
Поэтому, когда мы придем,
one of the merchant houses, the house of Akatov's family, 1792. This is a mansion constructed in a style of strict classicism. Strict classicism. Another merchant house. Look, with the first stage, the first story made of stone, but the second story made of woods. But this is a completely stone building. Look, it's definitely a merchant house. Nice balcony there. Look, here we can compare an old window frames, wooden frames, and plastic frames. You know, even an old wooden frames looks way better than the new plastic ones. I hate plastic plastic windows in the historical buildings. And look, another significant place of Kostroma. That's exactly the place where Yuri Dolgorukiy laid the first stone of Kostroma. It is here. The sign here that here in 1152 Yuri Dolgorukiy founded the town of Kostroma. Those who just joined, let me tell you, we are now in the town of Kostroma, which is founded in 1152 by Prince Yuri Dolgorukiy, Yuri Long-handed, on the banks of Volga River and the local Kostroma River, one of the oldest towns of Russia, a part of Golden Ring. It's already a town number 5 out of 8 official Golden Ring towns. The population here is 270,000 people. It's twice less than Yaroslavl, where we were yesterday, but way bigger than Rostov the Great, than Pereslavl-Zalesskiy, than Sergiev Posad. It's the town which is in top 100 of Russian towns by the population. 75th out of 1,115 Russian towns. Yes, Russia is big. Imagine 1,115 towns. Another mention, Iman de Valera. Thank you big time. Yes, this is a classicism. It's probably the houses of the period of Kema. There is the boat which is called Tver. On each, Catherine the Great were coming here to visit Kostroma. Kostroma is pretty significant because exactly here started the dynasty of Romanovs, of Romanov family, as the Tsar's family. In Saint Ipatievsky Monastery, where from I have started, exactly there in 1613, Mikhail Fedorovich Romanov was invited to be the Russian Tsar, the first one from Romanov family. So like for 700 years it was the dynasty of Ruriks, but since 1613 here came the dynasty of Romanovs. Well, so that's how we are coming to the very center, which is now the center, the central square. We are close to the central square of Kostroma. Now it looks more like some kind of Art Nouveau, right? It's more like a northern modern already. And now this is Kostroma Region Theater. They are not forgetting about the cultural life. And look, here is definitely the galleries of Гостиный двор, guest yards. This is the 18th century type mall. And that's the malls that used to be constructed as the malls from the very beginning. It's the malls of pre-revolutionary period. Another evidence that here also lived a lot of merchants. The thing is, Kostroma was very much and still very much developed as the town of textile industry. There was the time Kostroma was number one in a textile industry, textile manufacture. Mostly linen, the stuff made of linen. And look, now this mall also used big time as a mall. Many of the kiosks there are busy with the commercial estate. And look inside, there's the market, and not just the market, but the central market. Look at this. Closed now. I'm not sure if it's closed because of time or because of maybe coronavirus. Maybe coronavirus restrictions still here. But look. So yeah, this place is still up to date, big time. There's the central market. such a gallery and arcades. You know, back in those days, why they decided to project it like this? Because it's comfortable. You know, look, here was all the merchant malls, and you're walking there, the buyers walking, and even if the rain or the snow, they are under the roof, and after all, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So here was many merchants selling their stuff, their linen or woodworks. And we're now getting to the main square of the city, which is called Ivan Susanin Square. Ivan Susanin, he is the real hero. If you remember, I told you when I've been to Nizhny Novgorod and Moscow that in 1610, from 1610 to 1612, Russia actually was captured. At least the Moscow Kremlin was captured by Polish and Lithuanian intervents. And it has taken 2 years for Russian people, led by Minin and Pozharsky, two guys, Minin and Pozharsky. They were the leaders of, how to say, collecting the army against Polish and Lithuanian intervents in Moscow Kremlin. And also in 1613, Polish and Lithuanian intervents, when they have found that here in Kostroma living Mikhail Fedorovich Romanov, who was invited to be the Russian Tsar, they wanted to kill him. And they came here. But they was not sure how to find him, how to find Mikhail. So Ivan Susanin, he is just a simple old man, but they wanted to use him as the guide to show the way to Mikhail and to kill him. And look what he did. He pretended that he's going to show them the way to Mikhail. But what he did is actually got them to the dead end, deep into the woods. And that's where they got lost and they never reached Mikhail. And this way he saved young Tsar Mikhail. And so that's why he is honored, respected that much here in Kostroma. And the whole square named after him. Let's get to the square. Можно? Там.
Вон кофе.
Где?
Ну, вон кофе.
Okay. Let's get some coffee and we'll get deeper into the square. Well, I like that in these old towns, everything is full of history. Like most of things here or there are not without the reason. There is some kind of story behind every place. Like I told you here, the square of Ivan Susanin. Dudes, let's get some coffee and continue, okay? And that's actually where the monument to Ivan Susanin.
Или туда пойдешь, я пока куплю.
Да, давай пока купи.
Лата.
Latte. While Albina will buy some coffee, some latte, I'm gonna show you the monument to Ivan Susanin. He really did a good job. He got the Polish and Lithuanian intervents into the dead end. He actually got them into the middle of nowhere, deep in the woods, and they got lost. So they never reached Mikhail Fedorovich Romanov. Iman de Valera, thank you. Ivan Susanin, just a usual old man. Who they accidentally met, and he's supposed to show them the way where Mikhail Romanov living, that to kill him. The sign there is to Ivan Susanin, the patriot of Russian land. He's a real patriot. So do you guys love an act of Ivan Susanin? Do you think that it was pretty heroic? Yes. Look, even more of such a molds here, such a gallery molds. And look, they even used to construct such a chapels and even the cathedrals, which were called pre-mall cathedrals or pre-market cathedrals. Yes, they wanted even the trade to be blessed.
Направо.
Back then here was very much developed textile manufacture, mostly linen manufacture. You know, yesterday I told you that, let's say, Yaroslavl never turned to become one of the main cities of Russia, though it had all chance, because Peter the Great, he decided to found a new capital of Russia in St. Petersburg, and actually he transferred all the trading path, the most of it, from Volga to Baltics, because look, from Baltics you're getting to Neva River, from Neva River to Lake Ladoga, from Lake Ladoga to Volkhov River, and then just to whatever you want. Because of this, the trading path started to go not through Yaroslavl and that part of Volga, but through Baltics and Volkhov and the rest rivers. And probably same happens about Kostroma. So that's why instead of just buy sell, you know, kind of trading, they had to start the manufacture, like producing something with their own way, with their own hands. And that's why textile manufacture growing up big time here. Ну что, как здесь? О,
Готовится.
smells good. Smells good.
Готовится. Это мой горячий шоколад.
Ah.
Вкусно пахнет.
She said that it's
Тебе не
her
нужен микрофон?
hot chocolate.
Не нужно?
Пока нет, в любом случае. Let's look at the price. For example, latte.
Если я заказала-
145 rubles, which is a little bit less, which is $2. $2 for 400 milliliters, which is not bad.
Ну, это такая средняя цена, да?
Yes, it's an average price.
Не, ну... в принципе, нормально, 165. Латте.
Mm-hmm.
Горячий шоколад. Спасибо. Спасибо.
Taste quality. Taste quality. Fire department tower. It's one of the main dominants here in the town of Kostroma. When Tsar Nicholas was coming here, he enjoyed it as much, and he said that even him in St. Petersburg don't have the fire departments and fire tower like this. Watchtower, fire department watchtower, Kalancha in Russian language. I told you that in 1613, the first Russian Tsar from the dynasty of Romanovs was invited to be the Tsar exactly here. And in 1913, exactly here in Kostroma, they are celebrated 300 years to the House of Romanovs, the House of Romanov House. Да. Держи. Нет, пока подержи. И это.
Навик.
Google Maps. Let me tell you that Kostroma is also like Sergiev Posad, Yaroslavl, Pereslavl-Zalesskiy. It's still truly Russian city, not only by the history, but with the population. 96% of population are Russians. And you see that yellow building with the columns? That's the mansion of senator. Of course, in the pre-revolutionary times, there was the senator whose last name was Barshov. Senator Barshov mansion, the house. Kostroma, 270,000 residents now.
Сзади нас. Иди на нашу воду. Где второй нам?
Let's keep walking.
Возьми Вика телефон. Что говоришь?
А мне кофе.
Что говоришь, Сереж?
Now we are going to the House of Romanovs in Kostroma. This is a boulevard, seems like the main boulevard. This is Prospect Mira, Mira Avenue. Mir, it means or the world or a peace, the avenue of peace, an avenue of friendship. Look, the memorial board, Romanov, Mikhail Fedorovich. Those who just joined, let me tell you that Kostroma is the place where Mikhail Romanov became the first Russian Tsar from the dynasty of Romanovs. The history, 700 history of Ruriks was stopped and started the dynasty of Romanovs. So it's not accidentally that's why the Romanovs celebrated 3 hours of the House of Romanovs here in Kostroma in 1913. The street musicians. Welcome. I'm not a freeloader. They are singing about Capital of Karl Marx. Отлично. Спасибо. Спасибо. Big time. Need supporting the independent musicians, especially in small towns, I think. And look, I actually got into the consideration the mistake I was making in other cities. I had to skip many street musicians before because I hadn't any cash. Now I've got some cash, to give to the street musicians. And that's the Museum of Romanovs.
Сереж, как парк называется, где пески? Чудо-остров большой.
Где пески?
Да.
Таврический сад.
Вот, Таврический сад. Я так сказала.
This is probably one of the most significant museums for the history of Romanov's family.
Как повезет, какой.
Romanovs, Russia, 1613-1917. Let me remind you that actually the dynasty of Romanovs was stopped when Nicholas II and all of his family, they were killed. They were killed after the revolution. I think that actually it's actually wrong. Because look, Nicholas II already refused from the authority, so there was no need. But they probably just wanted to make sure that the Romanovs will never get to the authority again. And that's the house of noble, how to say, sovereign. I mean, like the place, the noble house, where all the nobles were meeting and had their time. Дворянское собрание. Valeria Martinez, sorry for being late. I had to drop off masks at the hospital. How are you, Sergey? Well, I'm fine. This is already the house, the town 5 out of 8. But how are you? It's no good to hear you where you was in the hospital. By the way, this alley is called an alley of culture. Here is the theater. It's a pretty old theater because look, I see the sign there that see you in 212th season. So that's mean it is here already for 212 years. And here is the monument to Ostrovsky. Significant writer of Russia. дом Романова. Bless you. Bless you. Once again from this angle, Kostroma Dramatical Theater. If you love Kostroma, check out. If you like Kostroma, give like. Просто дом Романовых.
Ну, просто нету.
В гугле посмотри, не в 2GIS долбаном. Кострома, да. This is a college of culture. College of culture. Just listen to this. College of culture.
Может, Романовский музей?
Но мы уже прошли его, да.
Прошли?
Mm.
Но только библиотека.
Now, little by little, let's go to the embankments. And look, that's how in Kostroma the birth house looks like. Birth house, right? How you call it in English? I mean the hospital which is special for those, only for those who give birth to the babies. We call it just a birth house. Maternity ward. I really love all the stone old buildings. And look, still all the original wooden frames are there. Wooden frame windows, which is awesome. Дай мне карту. Убавь. Масштаб убавь. Еще. Now let's go this way. We now will go to the embankments. Mm-hmm. Kostroma, another awesome, quiet city.
Это если что, туда прямо
Нет, нет, мне надо сейчас на этот. На набережную.
Там, получается, историческая библиотека дома Романова.
Ладно.
Дом Романов — это вообще, в принципе, Кострома. Россию называют Кострома, дом Романов.
Mm-hmm. Look at this. Even an old wooden frames looks so awesome. Wow. Wow. Whoa. Whoa, can you see this? Can you see this? Вы это видели? Вы это видели? Такие шикарные рамы. Whoa.
На поцелуйчики.
Whoa.
Ладно, больше. Не надо.
Can you see this?
Ну, тогда можно. Ты ко мне не надо.
Whoa. 200 years. Wooden frame windows looks better than a new plastic shit. Whoa. Whoa. Maternity wards of Kostroma. It's really funny to see their schedule. Like they works from Monday to Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, it's not working. Like the mothers gives birth, never give birth on Saturdays or Sundays. Now we are going through less central streets, not through the boulevards. Yes, it's very principle for me to show different parts of the city. So you would never tell me then that I just been to the central square and central boulevards, okay? And now you can see like more regular streets, okay? And this is already the Soviet building. It's definitely Stalinist building. Anna, Russia is the most beautiful country in the world. Thank you for this amazing tour. Love from the United Kingdom. Thank you big time. You know, in 1930s, because of Kostroma was one of the centrals for textile industry, textile manufacture, the population of Kostroma back then increased like twice for just several years. Because many people were attracted. And by the way, tomorrow I will go to another town of Golden Ring, which is called Ivanovo. And that city is known as, it has a nickname, the town of brides, a town of brides. That's because of in textile industry works mostly the ladies. It was full of ladies. There were way more ladies than men, so that's why it got a nickname, the town of brides. Look, I love it. Still the merchant streets. And look, even the new buildings, they are not out of the general style of the streets. This is definitely a new building. And look what a nice pond or lake here. Pretty good. It's a final countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. It is actually recovered pond, and here is even the memorial board to the participants of the recovering the pond. Mostly these are an organizations. Probably an organizations gave the money and just a mechanical power, and they are recovered this pond. All across the pond there is the benches. You see nice benches, and we go to the embankment. The new building, but I'm glad they worked on the architecture and it's not out of style. Unfortunately, this is what sometimes happens when in the historical city centers of Russian towns they construct the new buildings which are absolutely out of the historical architecture, and they don't care, you know. Thanks for real Russia free vacation. You're welcome, big time. Big time. Look, here is a nice place to compare. Just a more simple two-floor wooden house. It's definitely the house of more simple people. And here, this is definitely a merchant house. Typical two-story merchant house, which is completely made of stone. And that's why still now it looks pretty well. There is so thick walls every time when I'm getting to all of these historical buildings, the historical buildings like this, to the cathedral or to the merchant house or even to their courtyards. The LTE connection is getting lost right away. I remember in Samara, when I was getting even to the courtyards, the signal was getting lost there because, you know, the walls are so thick. This is also definitely a new house, but also the host here tried to make it look in harmony with the main architecture of Kostroma. I love it. I love it. lawyers and advocates are here. Okay, waiting. 27 seconds to go.
Тут как обычно жарко лето или вот как сейчас нормально?
Нормальная. Но не очень, все-таки это уже севернее.
В Петербурге уже 2 недели раз там по 30 градусов.
Шикарно же. Tomorrow we will go to Ivanovo region, the town of brides. I don't know. Tomorrow we will see if the people we will meet will be mostly the women, and that's the local court. The district court. Hello everybody. Hello who just joined. We are in Kostroma, the town already number 5 out of 8 of Golden Ring of Russia. Full tour of Golden Ring of Russia. 8 towns for 8 days. Now, these days, in my videos, Russia is as real as never yet. Kostroma, also known as the House of Romanovs. In 1613, Mikhail Fedorovich Romanov became the first Russian Tsar from the Romanovs family. That's when the dynasty of Ruriks, 700 dynasty of Ruriks, was over. And 300 years dynasty of Romanovs started. I have started this video visiting Holy Trinity, Saint Ipatievsky, the wonder worker monastery. That is exactly where, together with his mother, Mikhail Fedorovich Romanov, lived, where he was hiding. And that's where he was invited to be the Russian Tsar in 1613. And he's actually the grandfather of Peter the Great, Peter the First. Mikhail had a son, Alexei And Alexei had a son who was Peter the Great. We are going down to the embankment. In 1913, in Kostroma, was celebrated 300 years of the House of Romanov. And it was only 4 years before the dynasty of Romanovs stopped to exist, because they were all killed. All the Nicholas II family was shot, was executed, which is bad, I think. I think they hadn't to kill them all. I think that they hadn't to kill them at all, because that was already after Nicholas II refused from the authority. That's a local planetarium. Local planetarium of Kostroma. Dipayan Gosh, in appreciation of so much walking by the Baklakov family and showing cool places in Russia. Thank you, big time. And we are already pretty close to the embankment of Volga River. Let me tell you that Kostroma was founded in 1152 by Yuri Dolgorukiy, Yuri Long-handed, same guy who founded Moscow and Pereslavl-Zalesskiy. Moscow he founded in 1147, and in 1152 he founded Kostroma and also Pereslavl-Zalesskiy, where we have been 3 days ago. And again, Kostroma was founded on the bank of Volga River. And again, it's not just the bank of Volga River, but it's the police, полиция, да? Police. Okay. Стоим, ждем. Okay, 5 seconds to go. It's a final countdown. LED traffic lights. It's an art school. I love when art school for children and art schools in such historical buildings. You know, I'm sure that it is leaving a huge memorials then in the souls of those kids. This is a part of railway bridge through the Volga River in Yaroslavl. Yes, in Yaroslavl. I'm not sure why the elements of the railway bridge in Yaroslavl is located in Kostroma. But in the same time, I understand with this how really related all the history of Russia with all of these cities. They are not for no reason in a list of golden ring towns, you know, because they are very much connected with the history of Russia. Like, for example, you remember in Sergiev Posad, it was the residence of Saint Sergius of Radonezh, who was one of the most respected people in an Orthodox Christian Russia. He was the one who united in the people of Russia, right? Then we went to Pereslavl-Zalesskiy, and that was the place where Alexander Nevsky was born and where he was baptized. And later, he won the battle on Neva River, right? And there's many other things which are getting connected in more than 1,000 years history of Russia and many of these towns. So here we are. We've got to the embankment. That's where I need the microphone again. Give me the microphone with the windshield. А это пока убери. Наверное. Meanwhile, Lee Laushi, I hope Victoria will hurry up and get her new phone. Thank you. Thank you for watching, like, and super chats. I got to the embankment. Let's once again look at this absolutely awesome river, the most awesome river that I saw so far. This is the most awesome river, big time. Volga, imagine how big, long, and wide. You remember we saw Volga in Samara, in Ulyanovsk, in Sviazhsk, in Kazan, in Nizhny Novgorod, in Yaroslavl, and now here in Kostroma. And look, where is Samara and where is Kostroma? You will be absolutely amazed with how long it is. Volga. Wow. Look, maybe let's go on a boat. Может быть, на катер? Да, вон приглашают. Look, they are inviting on a boat. That's gonna be a good idea to get there. Volga. Volga. Now I understand why they named relatively premium cars. I mean, back in the Soviet days, premium Soviet cars as Volga. Volga. Because Volga, it's not a joke. Volga, it's a huge and powerful river. Look at that rotunda. It's a nice rotunda. From this rotunda, Ostrovsky actually was writing that from here, the view to Volga River is absolutely amazing as never before. Sergei's dad was a riverboat captain. Correct. Look, Moscow 52. One of those Soviet boats, pretty great boats, which are still working. Okay, let's get there, right? I think it's a great idea to get on a boat. They have the same boats on the Moscow River in Moscow. Here is a ferry with a restaurant. Volga. The boat cruise over Volga. Okay, the cashier on the boat.
А где оплачивать?
Написано касса на теплоходе.
Да, касса на теплоходе, вот на первой палубе, там около зеркал.
О.
200 рублей взрослый билет.
Okay, 200 rubles adults, which is $3.
А сколько катается?
Да. Это где в итоге? А вот касса. Cashier. Да. Look at this. Damn.
Рады приветствовать вас на борту нашего теплохода. В целях обеспечения безопасности недопустимо нарушать правила проезда на теплоходе, а именно необходимо соблюдать правила пожарной безопасности, не допускать действий, угрожающих безопасности людей. Пассажирам с детьми необходимо постоянно следить за их поведением и местонахождением. Запрещается бросать за борт мусор. Для сбора мусора на судне установлены специальные урны при входе и на открытых палубах. В случае обнаружения бесхозно оставленных вещей следует незамедлительно сообщить экипажу теплохода. Туалет на теплоходе Москва-52.
It looks like they have some technical troubles there on a cashier.
Кассы продажи билетов, находится на первой палубе, в кормовой части пассажирского салона. На детей в возрасте с 5 до 10 лет просьба приобретать детский билет. А купленные билеты необходимо сохранить.
We now will pay 600 rubles for all of us, which is like $9.
Наша экскурсия по Волге проходит в пределах той части Костромы, которая богата градостроительными, архитектурными, историческими памятниками, начиная с 15 века. Вот и сейчас теплоход отходит от причала рядом с Кремлевским холмом, где привлекает к себе внимание знакомый всем памятник Ленину. Этот памятник, открытый 1 мая 1928 года, в наши дни совершенно естественно воспринимать как памятник времени, памятник истории, и прежде всего потому, что для него был использован постамент несостоявшегося памятника, посвященного 300-летию царствования дома Романовых. А местоположение памятника Романову именно на этом месте было не случайно. Ведь здесь, над Волгой, на кромке Кремлевского холма, в древнем Успенском
Три взрослых,
взорванном в 1934 году, с 13 вот и сейчас, он в Берлинском соборе. А еще раньше, в этой части Костромского Кремля были осадные дворы Романовых. Теплоход идет вблизи левого берега и справа за двумя
идемте
московской заставы.
Идемте наверх.
Зелень набережной, а за ней виднеются корпуса Государственного университета имени Николая Алексеевича Некрасова. В состав университетских корпусов входит здание, в котором некоторое время размещалась духовная семинария. Она была учреждена еще по указу императрицы Елизаветы Петровны. В семинарии училось немало известных людей. В их числе Островский, дед Александр Николаевич Федорович, отец Анатолия Николая Федорович и любимый дедушка Павел Федорович Островский, который всю жизнь прожил в Костроме, был членом
We came right on a time. Just 3 minutes before the ship departed from the port.
покрыты лесами. И область наша, самая северная на Золотом кольце, входит в южную подзону тайги, а в Кологривском районе на реке Валзинге Есть даже заповедная теперь девственная тайга. Но в этой части Костромы находятся и традиционные, тоже с прежних времен, судостроительные
Волга.
предприятия. Они выпускают, например,
Вау.
разные катера, пожарные и для МЧС со специальной оснасткой, прогулочные. А на бывшей судоверфи с 2001 года судостроительно-ремонтный завод выпускают современный флот, баржи, толкачи и освоили выпуск танкеров грузоподъемностью до 5000 тонн. И в то же время среди самых главных характеристик Костромы до сих пор Кострома – город текстильный. И всегда уточняю.
Now I think this is a great time to tell you about Kostroma once again, being here from another angle of view, and more people watching now, 200 people watching, which is great. So the town of Kostroma, it is located in about 350-370 kilometers northwest from Moscow. You can get here by the interstate Moscow-Arkhangelsk, or you can come here by the railway through the train, which goes from Yaroslavsky railway station, because it goes through Yaroslavl. If you remember, yesterday we were in Yaroslavl, which is another town of Golden Ring. The town of Kostroma, founded in 1152 by Prince Yuri Dolgorukiy, Yuri Long-handed. He founded also Moscow in 1147, just 5 years before Kostroma. And Yuri Dolgorukiy also founded Pereslavl-Zalesskiy, where we have been 3 days ago, also in 1152. So Kostroma and Pereslavl-Zalesskiy were founded with the same guy in the same year. It is founded on the bank of Volga river, in a place where Volga, you see now, this is Volga, but here it is connecting with the local Kostroma river, and one of the most efficient versions, one of the most, probable, the most efficient versions that the town named after the river. So this is Gidronim, so-called Gidronim. And look, now we are driving just through the place where from we have started. That's Holy Trinity, Saint Ipatius, the Wonder Worker Monastery, which is there. It was founded in 1330. There's the Holy Trinity Cathedral. Look, there was a Tatar Murza whose name was Chet. Chet was coming to Moscow, to Ivan Kalita. He wanted to be baptized to Russia. Let me tell you that Tatars are mostly Muslims. They are following for Islam, Sunni Islam. So he was a Sunni Muslim, but he was coming to Moscow. He wanted to get baptized into the Orthodox Christianity. But on the way to Moscow, when he was about here, like exactly on this place, he got sick. And when he was sick, he saw the Mother Mary came to him. Mother Mary together with the Saint Ipatius, and he got healed. And later, when he came to Moscow, when he baptized to Orthodox Christianity, and when he got a Christian name, Zachary, he decided to found on this place, this monastery. It's a huge monastery. Some people mess it up with Kostroma Kremlin, because it looks like a Kremlin. Look, there are also a huge walls, you know, all around the territory. But the real Kostroma Kremlin, unfortunately, was mostly destroyed during the Bolsheviks' time, mostly in 1930s. But this is the monastery. We have started today from here, and then we went through that bridge, automobile and the pedestrian bridge. It's so bad that now the sun shining right into the camera, but maybe now it's better. Okay, so and look, this place actually became a very significant for the whole Russian history, because exactly here, Tsar Mikhail Fedorovich Romanov was invited to become a Russian Tsar, and he was the first Russian Tsar from the dynasty of Romanovs. For 700 years in Russian history, from 9th century to 1613, there was the dynasty of Ruriks. But after 700 years, the dynasty of Ruriks gone. So starting from Mikhail Fedorovich, started the dynasty of Romanovs. And look, Mikhail had a son, Alexei, and Alexei had a son, Peter the First. So Mikhail Fedorovich, he is nobody but the grandfather of Peter the Great. So exactly here, in 1613, 16 years old, Mikhail Fedorovich was invited to become a Russian Tsar. Now you can see much better. This is Holy Trinity, Saint Ipatius, the Wonder Worker Monastery. It's an active monastery. I have started from here today. Then, through that bridge, we came to the historical city center. And we went through the historical city center, through the square of Ivan Susanin, and we came to the embankment. On the embankment, suddenly we saw this boat, Moskva, which is called Moskva. It's absolutely amazing Soviet boat, Moskva 52. This is the serial cruise boat. They all has the same name, Moskva, Moscow, but just different numbers. They are still in a good shape and still working pretty good. Let's say when you're coming to Moscow, like more than half of the cruise boats are still the boats like this, Moskva, which is great. So now, Kostroma, also known as like the House of Romanovs. And look, just 4 years before the end of the dynasty of Romanovs, in 1913, the Romanovs celebrated 300 years of Romanov house. And then unfortunately, Nicholas II, together with all of his family, they were killed. And look, it's interesting that the Romanovs came to authority, like the story of Romanovs, as the Tsar's family started there, as I told you, in the Ipatievsky Monastery, but it was finished in the Ipatiev's house in Ekaterinburg. The house in Ekaterinburg also was named after Ipatius, and that's where they all were killed, murdered. They all were shot down. I don't like it because look, back then Nicholas II already signed the refusal. He signed the refusal on the train station of Pskov When last year I've been to Pskov, I was showing you that train station, and there's even the chapel named after Nicholas, which is completely dedicated to his to him signing the refusal of the authority. And actually, there wasn't any real need to kill him and all of his family. But the motherfuckers just wanted to make sure. Look, now we are in a pretty historical place where Volga connecting with Kostroma river. You see, this is Kostroma and this is Volga. Dame. Volga, wide and beautiful and so rich. You remember when I've been to Samara, we saw Volga in Ulyanovsk, Sviazhsk, Kazan, Nizhny Novgorod, Yaroslavl, and now here in Kostroma. But look on the map, where is Samara, where is Kostroma? Big time. It's actually not that good that they now play the music, because then YouTube giving me the copyright claims, so I will better stay here. Yes, Volga is the longest river in Europe, and so wide and beautiful. And look, that's interesting. For example, when I went from Ufa to Samara, I partly drove through Orenburg region, and Orenburg is already close to Kazakhstan, and Kazakhstan, it's mostly the steppes, and I saw there was mostly fields and sometimes only very short trees, because such a climate, you know. But when you're getting closer to Samara, closer to the river, because of the river closeness, it is give the life all around. The climate is already different, probably like more wet, and there's already a lot of woods. So the river actually gives life to all around for many kilometers. This is so amazing. I hope you enjoyed the ride. I remember that it was amazing to make the boat trip through Moskva River, but this is actually my first boat cruise through Volga. Wow. I think that my parents actually had a very great youth when they were working on the river cruise boat. Look, they were traveling all around Volga. My father used to be the captain of riverboat cruise, long distance riverboat cruise ship. It's not like just an hour walks, but it's like 2 weeks cruises from Ufa to Moscow through all the Volga or to Volgograd. And look, they were, the thing is, they were riding not through just near the cities, Volga parts, but around so wild sides of Volga, where nothing but just, you know, the woods. Vladimir Lenin. Volga. This is awesome. This is awesome. Hope you enjoy no less than I enjoy this. Wow, just wow. Avara 59 enjoying the tour so far. Thank you. Thank you too. Thank you all for contributions. That's why this trip is possible. You are contributing this. We're making it together. Same as, if to continue this story about Kostroma, I can say that same as Yaroslavl, Kostroma also has all chances now to be one of the main towns of Russia. Same as it was actually in like 17th century. In 17th century. But you remember what happens in the very beginning of 18th century. In 1703, Tsar Peter I, also known as Peter the Great, what he did? He decided to found the new capital of Russia, way far from here, next to the Baltics, where is now located St. Petersburg. Actually, in St. Petersburg, he founded St. Petersburg, which is now the city number 2 in Russia. This is the second biggest city of Russia after Moscow. Moscow about like 15, 17 million. St. Petersburg 5 million people. 5 million people. And if Peter the Great never came up with an idea to make St. Petersburg, now definitely Yaroslavl, Kostroma would be probably one of the biggest and most significant towns of Russia. But happened what happened. That's the history. And actually, this is not bad, because St. Petersburg is awesome. Recently, as you know, I visit so many cities and I see so many things, and I can compare. And I can say that even though all of these towns are very beautiful, very interesting, full of history, and way older than St. Petersburg, however, nothing can beat St. Petersburg. Nothing can beat St. Petersburg so far, at least in my opinion.
Когда мы приедем обратно?
Скоро уже. Enjoying the time.
Yes.
I guess you're gonna be best in the history lessons this upcoming year at school, because you're the one who now learning the history not from a books, but just from the real life. But what is good about these old Russian towns compared to St. Petersburg? Because here is left so many of, how to say, wilderness. So many untouched things. Maybe it's even good that they are not completely turned this into a super, how to say, like, super clean, or I would say super polished. Well, they are anyway super clean, but super polished touristic cities. So that's how we came back from our ride. This was amazing ride, and definitely it was worth $3 we paid for this. Even less than $3. Yep. Whoa. This is awesome. Just awesome. Volga River. The cruise. The cruise around Volga River. We're going out. The ferry. Okay, we need to show the tickets.
Вика.
I'm gonna show the tickets. Три. Wow. And look, Edward Turner. Thanks for another excellent narrative. Cheer up, Vika. Tomorrow is another day. Thank you. DL Ash Go. Buy Victoria a new hat. Made in Russia, maybe. Yes, I'm perfect. I'm Russian. Good idea. Good idea. Good idea. It's actually for a new hat. Where it's going to be like I'm Russian or something like that.
Ну, то есть мне, да?
Yep.
Thank you.
Volga Mother. Okay, let's look at the map. How to get to the center. Посмотрим давай карту.
Ну, отойдем сюда.
It's a little bit windy near the river, but it's warm. I love it. The sunset is coming. Давайте пройдем через Central Park. Now we'll get to the Central Park.
Прямо.
The Central Park of Kostroma. Big time. Подождите. Вот здесь должен был быть переход.
Ну да.
Почему его нету? Не знаю, может стерлось.
Бежим.
Come on. The Central Park. Так, посмотри еще раз на карту. Но мы сейчас поднимаемся на Центральный парк.
Ну, вот мы идем
Мгм.
по Центральному парку.
Just in case if you forgot how I look like without glasses. Now some exercise.
Ниже.
Good. Quiet evening time. Thanks for a great tour, Floyd Bodriu. Welcome. Susan Andrew. Yes, nice exercise.
Вот мы.
I'm fine. Посмотри, где там это отельчик.
Как он у нас называется?
Арт центральный. Ну, советская 4 введи.
Четыре минуты показывают.
Хорошо.
Так, мы не туда пошли.
А если отсюда пройти?
Ну вот и мы идем. Смотри.
Ну, оттуда пройдем сейчас.
Ты прям хочешь зайти внутрь?
Ну да.
Он такой маленький.
Пофигу, как есть, показываем. It seems like still the Soviet asphalt is here.
Правильно же идем, что мы как будто в другую сторону.
Да нормально идем. Look, I have a very contradictory feelings about this monument, because you see the basement, this basement, it was installed here, dedicated to 300 years of Romanov's house. So it was like, how to say, pedestal, the basement for something dedicated to Romanovs, to Tsar's family. But after all, there was installed Lenin, Vladimir Lenin. Just tell you. I think it's just a little bit inappropriate. I mean, usually I'm just okay about all of these statues to Lenin, but here is just a kind of contradictory. Lenin, the founder of Soviet Union. Куда? А, да, отсюда вернемся.
Смотри,
Чего?
сейчас туда, туда.
Но можно же вот отсюда пройти. That's how we're getting back to the very center, the very historical center. Here is not far from that square, the square named after Ivan Susanin. All of these malls, all of these pre-revolutionary merchant galleries, and there's even the bellery and the church, which is actually called pre-market church. Yes, so they wanted even the marketing, even the trade to be blessed by God.
Сейчас до той улицы направо, либо отсюда.
Yeah, and why not? Because back then trading they were making, it was a very good trading, because They were selling mostly their own production, manufacture. Because look, I think that Kostroma got the same destiny as Yaroslavl. Before Peter the Great founded St. Petersburg on Baltics, Volga River, and all of these towns, Yaroslavl, Kostroma, like the most of trading went through Volga, through this part of Volga. But when Peter the First founded St. Petersburg, and most of trade started to go through Baltics, many merchants who were making the business on just like buy sell stuff here, or maybe even if they were making their own stuff, the manufacturer, they actually like lost the market. They lost the way how to sell their stuff. And so anyway, they had to turn to mostly manufacture. And Kostroma became one of the centers, and there was the moment it was the biggest center of textile manufacture in Russia, mostly linen textile. So most of stuff they were selling was their own stuff, and it was blessed.
Вот сейчас мы с Советского выходим и на кровать.
There's the main square of this city. We are not getting back there. I'm not gonna get back there now again. If you missed this moment, you just can watch later when this live stream will turn to the video. And look, those who don't love that this live streams turns into a very long videos, you may know that you actually don't have to watch the full video. You can fast forward the fragments, and that's it. But anyway, I can't make it shorter because it's a live stream. It's just a little bit different format, which I think the most efficient during a very busy road trip. Because during the road trip I don't have time to edit. There is in the very center, I already showed you that there's the square named after Ivan Susanin, just a regular old man who lived in Kostroma and who in 1613 got Polish and Lithuanian intervents to the dead end. They have found that here in Kostroma living Mikhail Fedorovich, who became the first Russian Tsar from the dynasty of Romanovs. And they wanted to find him and to kill him. And they met Ivan Susanin and asked him to show the way to Mikhail Fedorovich, the future's first Russian Tsar from the Romanovs family. And he said, okay, but instead of showing them the place where Mikhail is located, in that Ipatievsky Monastery, he just got them very deep into the woods, and they never reached Mikhail. And that was an act, that was a serious act. He actually saved Mikhail as the first Russian Tsar from Romanovs. And then Mikhail became the grandfather for Peter the Great. who founded St. Petersburg. And now we are going to the hotel. It is already became the tradition to show the hotel in every city we stop. The hotel, which called Art Central. Art Central. This is the hotel which is pretend to be like pretty artistic, kind of conceptual. And we paid
Направо.
so when we paid $37. Look, here they also have their own parking. I have parked the car here. I have... Ну скажи, сейчас пойдем. There's Hyundai Solaris, and the hotel itself is here in this historical building. The renovations are going here. Let's get in. And look at this statue of Soviet pioneers. Ну что, там все в порядке? It is called Art Central. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Открывай. Что не открывается? Ты туда толкай. Okay, another review. $37 at this time. Here is 3 beds. 1 2-level bed. 1 place here, 2nd place there. And the 3rd bed is here. TV screen. Here is the air conditioner. The power outlets. The lamp. Окей. Подожди. Нет, выйди пока. Я же покажу. Давай я покажу, потом зайдешь. And the bathroom. Or to say like, yeah, here is no bath. But okay, bathroom. Here is just a shower cabin. Toilet pan. Okay, so $37 we pay for this. Okay, you go. Now you can go. Oh. So here we are, got back to the hotel, and in the end of this video just want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this another live stream. Let me remind you that our Real Russian Tour 2020 keep going. This is already the second stage. The first stage was when we drove from Ufa to Moscow, mostly through the towns on the embankment of Volga River. From Ufa we came to Samara, then to Ulyanovsk, the motherland of Vladimir Lenin, then to the unique town island, small town island of Sviazhsk, and not far from Kazan. So then we went to Kazan. Check it out all if you're never yet. The capital of Tatar people, the capital of the Republic of Tatarstan of Russia, Kazan. From Kazan we came to the capital of Chuvash Republic, Chuvash people, Cheboksary. From Cheboksary we came to Nizhny Novgorod. Don't mess it with Novgorod the Great. And finally we came to Moscow. Then we spent 3 days in Moscow, got a little break there, and then we started the second stage of this road trip of this Real Russian Tour 2020. We started full Golden Ring of Russia tour. It's 8 truly old and truly Russian towns around Moscow. And it is ring because really it's like creating the circle around Moscow. We at first went north from Moscow, went up by the interstates, started from Sergiev Posad, then Pereslavl-Zalesskiy, then Rostov the Great. Yesterday we were in Yaroslavl, today in Kostroma. 3 more cities. Ivanovo, in Ivanovo region, the town which is known as also the town of brides, because it was the center for textile industry as well, like Kostroma, and there were working mostly the ladies. Then Suzdal, and finally Vladimir. Vladimir is already will be not that far from Moscow. So now after Kostroma we'll go south, like back to Moscow. So after Vladimir we will get back to Moscow, and then we'll see what will be after that. Thank you all for watching, for following our tour. Thanks, of course, for all of your likes. Thanks for your contributions. This trip, I can say for sure that definitely it is completely depends on your supports. Because look, I said that would you like me to do? Would you like we'll do this? Like the road trip and Golden Ring tour. You said okay. I mean, you contributed, and that's why it happens. And every day, absolutely every day, we are bringing a lot of content for you. Thanks for supporting, for super chats, and also supporting on the page on my website, realrussiablog.com/golden ring. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It gives the power. Is the super chat only way to pay this guy? No, you actually can go to realrussiablog.com/golden ring. The link is in the description, and also to contribute. Also have more super chats. Dana Sizbaro, thanks for showing us lovely Russia. You are welcome, big time.
Thank you for super chat.
Yeah. And Sarah, thank you for another great tour. Thank you too, Sarah.
You too.
You're welcome. And thank you all. Thank you all just for watching and just for a like. This is already also pretty helpful. Please don't forget about likes. Because look, likes, this is an activity. This activity then helps to promote, to move, to push this video harder on YouTube. You know, the algorithm of YouTube is pretty difficult, pretty complicated, but activity helps. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now we will go for a rest. We will chill, and already tomorrow about same time, wait us with a live stream from Ivanovo. That's going to be another exciting town town number 6. And now, bye for now from Kostroma, the House of Romanovs, the lullaby of Romanovs dynasty, Tsar's dynasty in Russia. The place where in 1613 Mikhail Fedorovich Romanov was called to become the Russian Tsar, the first Russian Tsar from the dynasty of Romanovs, the grandfather of Peter the Great. Thank you for watching. Big time.
Thank you for watching. Huge time.
Huge time. Big time. Huge time. And all together we are the Baklikov family. Thank you. Albinочка.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Не thank you.
See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
Какие мы умные.
No fake, no bullshit. All the time. Logibit, bye. Ermu, The Bear in Exile. Scott Wheeler, Jill Sampson, EMS Paramedic, Todd Metzger, Avaro 59, Mertz Alaker, Luis Carlos Rocha, Dlshigo, DLSCHGO, Gabby Hyman, Sarah, Mars Bars, DWDE 115, Ariel Horizon RC, Kathy Norris, Joe Hernandez, Jidis 10, R. Moo, Valeria Martinez, Susan Nagy, and Bob, Henry Hans Performance, S. Kolikin, Shahe Lavi, Shahe, The Celtic Alpine Gene, Brian Tafola. Thank you all, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye. Bye. Big time. Jackie P. Thank you all. Thank you. Jill Sampson. Don't forget likes and don't forget to keep commenting when this live stream will turn to be the video. Thank you. Thank you.
Goodbye.